Thank you so much, Gloria, for your time. I know you have been very busy and traveling around the world. By the way, it's a Women's Day, 8th March, so happy Women's Day. My best wishes and congratulations. So, can you tell me a little about yourself? I know you have been in many high positions in travel and tourism industry for many years. So, and now you are a candidate for the UN Tourism Secretary General, so maybe you can tell us a little more about yourselves.
Thank you, and happy Women's Day to all the women that are watching, of course, this video. And by the way, today is, as you say, March the 8th, is also my father's birthday, who's very supportive of women. I was born in a family with three women, two other siblings, and my mom and my father, they always make sure that we not only support each other, but we knew that women have the same opportunities than men. Having 35 years working for travel and tourism in different capacities. I was the Minister of Tourism in Mexico. I was also the CEO for WTTC for 4 years, living in London, but traveling all over the world. And also in the most challenging time, which was the pandemic. I was the voice of the global private sector during that difficult period, and of course trying to work with 150 governments around the world, sharing best practices, sharing knowledge, and trying to reduce the impact of the job losses. At the very beginning, we thought that we were going to lose 150 million jobs, and the good news, thanks to the public and private collaboration and work from our members and all the governments, we were able to reduce that impact to 52. It was still a lot, but less than the original forecast that we had. I also recently was the chief special advisor for the Minister of Tourism in Saudi Arabia, His Excellency Al Khatif. Worked very well with him and his team, helping in this beautiful Vision 2030 and the very impressive transformation that is happening in that country. One of the goals, for instance, that we had, it was to achieve 100 million travelers, domestic and international, by 2030. And the wonderful news is that we were able to accomplish that 7 years before. In December of 2023, we were able to achieve 104. So I helped the kingdom and His Excellency and the very impressive team that he has by inviting over 200 CEOs to come to Saudi to host them, to share with them the strategy, the giga projects, and also, as I say, the impressive transformation. Some part of my career was also in the private sector. I know how they think. I know their challenges. I was CEO of Saver. It's a technology company and a GDS out of Mexico. I live in the US. And I also did some work with Harvard University in the School of Public Health that has also environmental health. And that's because sustainable tourism is very important and we need to protect the planet and the resources in order to continue traveling and enjoying what we have. So as you can see, it's 35 years between public, private, academia, and also domestic in Mexico and international experience.
Great. So, can you tell me how does it feel to be a woman in such a high positions and in so many countries working, and what is your message for the other women in this industry?
Well, like any other industry, it's very challenging still in many cases to get to higher positions. And we have to work twice or three times as much, as we all know. Now, the important thing is that we need to support each other, and having mentoring many women from around the world, my home country in the US, and recently, for instance, in Saudi Arabia, that I also had in my team wonderful Saudi women with a lot of potential, and also within the ecosystem and the Ministry of Tourism in Saudi Arabia. So to me, it's a responsibility because my job is to make sure that I help other women for them to move up and really maximize their potential. But at the same time, it's a privilege. And it's a privilege because in that position, in different levels, I have been able to influence, for instance, policies. I have been able to influence initiatives. When I was in WTTC, as an example, we launched the first women initiative that basically was working with the corporations and governments. And in the corporations, for instance, we were asking them to pay special attention to training for women, mentoring women, opportunities for women, because when you have a plan in place, it's easier to develop the talent. When you don't have a plan in place, it's more complicated. We also work with communities because helping communities, you empower women. And I think that's the top priority. And in that case, when you support women, you support families and entire communities. So you see the multiplier effect. And it's very important to continue supporting women as SME owners, for instance, or in different capacities in corporations and in different destinations. And of course, in governments, we recommend certain policies in order to support women as well. So in WTTC, we launched the Women Initiative, and I have been involved in many different women initiatives throughout my career, supporting, mentoring, coaching, developing women, as I say, from around the world. And recently, I was just in Jamaica, and I had the chance to talk to a lot of girls and students that they are considering tourism as part of their career, and they are being developed as we speak. And it was wonderful because every day I learned from students and from very interesting women from around the world in different capacities and in different jobs. So it was another opportunity for me to listen to the new generations. What are they thinking? How do they see their challenges? And how can we help them to move up and also to maximize the opportunities that they have ahead?
Great, great. And that's a good message. So how you see the future of travel and tourism industry, and if you become the Secretary General of United Nations Tourism, what will you like to be to see is change or improved, or how you see the future and what do you want to change?
I think the future is very promising, but we still have a lot of work to do. And as the next Secretary General of UN Tourism and under my leadership, I think we need to pay attention to several things. For instance, we need to have very clear governance, transparency within the organization. The organization has to be able to provide a lot of tools and insights and research for the decision makers. Because when I was a minister, many times I would ask myself, who has done it? Why do I have to start from zero? I'm sure that someone has done it and I can learn from the mistakes or the successes from others. And that's something that in many cases has not been documented. So I believe that the members can receive more value. And one portion is just that insight, the data for decision making, the information, the intelligence, and sharing best practices. Also, we need to spend time developing communities. Right now, tourism has been growing. As we know, Europe is the largest region in the world. Asia is the one that has been growing the most. Of course, the Middle East is way ahead. But there are some other regions that they also have a lot of potential, and every region has different needs. In the case of Europe, for instance, sustainability is very important, and some destinations are receiving a lot of travelers. However, there's still a lot of small destinations that they don't have travelers, and we have an opportunity to empower in those communities and sharing the benefit. In the case of Africa, as an example, is similar to what I see in Latin America. We need to increase the connectivity. They need to have more flights. So we need to have a specific plan to look at the all unattended routes and increase the connectivity and work hand in hand with the destinations. That's something that I was able to do in my country, that I was able to help in Saudi, and I was able to help when I was in WTTC. I think that the UN tourism should be able to help Africa and Latin America to increase the connectivity. And it's not that complicated if we use technology, if we use the information available, and we work with the right partners to provide exactly what are the routes needed and how can we achieve that in a short time frame. So connectivity is one. Developing communities, very important. A lot of destinations in some regions like Africa and Latin America, I already mentioned Europe or Asia, they have a very unique DNA. And today, I don't know about what's unique about some of these destinations. And I don't think that we're empowering the communities. To me, giving an award to community doesn't mean empowering them. Empowering them means providing the tools, the training, taking that DNA and helping them to take control of their destiny, and coaching them and training them and providing tools so that they can develop the destination. They can create product experiences, they can provide bed and breakfast so that when the travelers visit, they have a place to stay. They have a place where they can have a great meal that is connected to their DNA or to the experience that they offer. And they can also, for instance, spend money in buying art crafts or tours and excursions, and the local community can benefit. I was able to do that when I was in Mexico with a program very popular. It's called Magical Towns. Imagine a small town that has 5,000 citizens and suddenly it was receiving 20,000 visitors. So I have seen firsthand in the power of community development. The social impact is significant because suddenly you provide so many opportunities that you change lives. And those people, they don't have to migrate to look for jobs because we help them to create the jobs. Also, with the public and private collaboration is very important. As probably you saw, more than 100 CEOs from around the world, they have endorsed me because they have seen my track record. They have worked with me. So I can bring these CEOs, and many of them are eager to invest in some of these destinations, but we need to work with them. We need to have the right plans. We need to have the right empowerment in the communities. We need to have the right visibility, and they need to know exactly where is the potential and how we're planning to bring the travelers so that they can invest in hotels, in excursions, in tours, or restaurants, or whatever is the case, or experiences, for instance. So this partnership is the only way to move forward, and we need to develop those communities bottom up, but yes, top to bottom also with the best public policies. So community is very important. As I say, connectivity very important, sustainability very important, innovation. There are so many tools with AI, internet, VR, and AR that I'm not sure that we are maximizing the opportunity. So I see that we can move ahead and grow the sector, but we also have to be responsible, and we need to make sure that travel and tourism is part of the solution for climate change. We also need to manage the crisis, have a priority with resilience. That's very important. I don't think that right now the UN tourism has a good platform to provide support when there's a crisis in a destination from around the world. Are they getting the support that they need? Are we helping them to manage the crisis? Are we helping them to, recover faster or learn from each other? Because that is the other thing. Some of these outbreaks, some of these weather-related issues or crises are the same or very similar. How do we make sure that we share this knowledge and they learn from the past and they learn from other experiences? So to me, bottom line, the organization has an opportunity to provide greater value to the members and help the members to grow and to move faster, maximize their potential, but also in a very responsible way. And I don't say one solution fits all, no, because every destination requires something different. One requires, as I say, more connectivity, another one, development of communities, another one more helping with a sustainability initiative or quantifying the social impact, or it could be destination stewardship, that they already have too many travelers and we want to spread those travelers to other communities and spread what we call the prosperity, share the benefit. So, and more, especially after COVID, people want to travel. We want to discover the world. Traveling brings you the best memories, builds the best experiences, and we want to be closer to our family and our friends. And traveling brings you that and also connects culture. So we should be able to have more destinations, more places to visit, make it seamless, better, faster, very secure. And that's another one by using the technology. And I think the organization plays a very important role and provides opportunities for all if we do it right. So as I say, under my leadership, I want to take the organization to a new era and transform the organization. Whatever has been done that is good should stay, but there are so many new things that we can do to benefit the members, benefit women from around the world, benefit the youth, and of course, benefit the people that our member states are serving today so that they can really maximize the potential.
Exciting. Oh, great. That's great. And then last question, short, if possible, please. In this divided world, we have so many conflicts and war. Hopefully now the situation will be better soon. How tourism can play a role to bring the people together and, in these difficult times, and then create a more peaceful and a harmonious world? What's the role of the tourism?
I think tourism plays a very, very important role because when you travel and you connect with the locals and with different cultures, you develop understanding. You put yourself in the shoes of others, and that's when tolerance and empathy is created. When we have more empathy, we have more understanding and we have more peace. So to me, our sector is an engine for peace. Our sector provides understanding, provides tolerance, gives you a different perspective so that you have a better appreciation and more respect. I have been very fortunate and privileged since I was a little girl to travel within my country. And then my parents make sure that we travel also abroad to the US and Canada. And then I took my kids also to other destinations. For the new generations, if I think about my son and my daughter, they are citizens of the world. They don't care about what's your religion, what is your beliefs. You're a human being and they treat you the same that they want to be treated, right? And for them, they have lived in countries like when we live in Saudi Arabia, that we went through different seasons, the Ramadan and the beautiful Islam. But we also were living, for instance, in London, where we interacted a lot with the Jew community or with Catholics in my country or Orthodox. So, and Christians. So, when you are exposed to all of these different beliefs and understanding and traditions and cultures, you build more empathy. And to me, empathy is the formula here and the solution that our sector provides. So yes, the more that we travel, the more that we respect and the more that we value other cultures. And as I say, our sector has a very important role, but we cannot take it for granted. We need to make sure that our sector is developed properly and also is responsible and provides that understanding and that empathy for the traveler, but also for the local that should benefit from the visitors.
Great. Okay. Thank you.